Welcome to Curiousaholic. My name is Haiko. I'm here with my good friend Evan.
Hello, Earthlings.
So, this is our first ever episode of our brand new show called Curiousaholic. We named it that because we are two very curious guys who like to talk about everything and anything in life. We love to go deep into different topics and see things from different perspectives. You know, we figured that we should record our conversations rather than having them off air, and share our thoughts with everyone else, with you guys. So in this pilot episode, we'll give you guys some background on us, who we are, what we enjoy, and why we decided to start this podcast.
Excited to start.
Yeah, let's get into this, Evan. You want to take it away?
Yeah, sure. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of background of who I am and, you know, what my personality is all about. So, you know, I'm a pretty laid back person. I really enjoy, you know, interacting with my friends and giving my thoughts about, you know, difficult topics and whatnot, since my background is in engineering, so it kind of reflects that trait of mine. So yeah, I figured that it would be a great idea to start a podcast with my co-host here, Haiko, since we have a lot in common. We do share a lot of similar interests where, you know, both of us really enjoy music and, for me, for example, I enjoy fitness and, other things like martial arts. So I thought that I had a lot of topics to discuss, and I figured that it would be a great idea to start a podcast and be able to speak about my ideas freely and share my opinions with everyone else out there.
Yeah.
So how about you? What kind of interests do you have, and why did you feel like starting this podcast?
Yeah. So a little about me. Well, I'm just a kid and life is a nightmare. No,
Okay.
I'm kidding.
Simple plan.
Simple plan.
From Montreal, we forgot to mention that.
True, they are a local band. No, but jokes aside, I'm kind of similar personality to Evan. You know, I'm a down-to-earth guy. I'm pretty open-minded. I like learning things in life. Having knowledge and discovering new things is, you know, a passion of mine. And I think this podcast was a good way to not only talk about different things, but also learn new things, because this will force us with each different topic in each episode to learn new things. So I value knowledge, obviously. I value open-mindedness and kind of critical thought, you know, wanting to discuss things and not being closed-minded and opinionated, you know, right. Seeing things in a different light. It helps expand your mind. Some of my interests, kind of like Evan again, music. As you can see, I'm in front of a piano. I love playing music. I also produce on the music. Just a little plug to give you guys, if you want to listen to some of my songs. I do have a SoundCloud. Might leave a link in the description to our YouTube video to that.
Yeah, give them a listen, people.
Yeah, I'm trying my best, trying to produce some songs, and maybe one day, who knows, might become a big producer.
One day, hopefully that's a dream, right?
Yeah, that's one of my dreams, exactly. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for me, I would say. Kind of similar. I think that's what, you know, helped us.
Yeah, that's what gave us the chemistry to start a podcast. We have so many common interests that we're able to communicate our ideas and have a full conversation about different topics all the time. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So so kind of to talk about the podcast, Evan, maybe you can describe a bit.
Yeah, I think I'll give you guys a little bit of a rundown on how the podcast works and how we decided to start all this, so that you guys could have a better experience while listening. So basically, every single episode, only one of us actually knows what the topic is going to be about. So one of us is going to choose a topic every single episode and is going to reveal it live to the other person while we're recording the episode. So this is going to, you know, create an interesting discussion that's going to be unrehearsed, and it's going to force us, like Haiko mentioned, to learn new topics every time and really further our own personal knowledge, and hopefully, you know, further your own knowledge for the viewers as well. So it's a win-win situation for everyone.
Yeah, true, exactly. And our episodes are not scripted either. You know, these are live conversations that we're having. That's what's kind of fun about it, that the topic is revealed live. So, you know, if I choose a topic, then Evan would not know what it is. So he's going to be surprised. He's going to learn new things. So
exactly.
we thought that would be a fun aspect to our podcast. Just also, give a little disclaimer that we are not experts in any way, in a certain field or anything. Yes, we are going to talk about different topics, multitude of things. The things that we say, it's, our opinions, how we see things. It's not, expert advice.
Yeah.
Just two guys having a conversation in a basement.
So don't take everything we say with a grain of salt, but obviously we try our best to deliver proper information and all that stuff.
Yeah, we try to deliver value in terms of different points of views, going deep into things, and seeing things in a different light,
Exactly.
not with the conventional ways necessarily.
Yep.
But yeah, kind of also to give a little bit of a history on how, we started doing this podcast, because we started doing, some practice episodes before, launching our pilot episodes. And in the beginning, just to let you guys know, we hadn't chosen the name Curiousaholic. We chose the Wing It podcast. That's what we wanted to call it.
That was the original name.
But how did that turn out, Evan?
Didn't go so well. We realized that everyone has that name already. So
yeah, we did like the basic rookie mistake of not even checking the name.
Yeah.
We recorded 5 episodes
with that name.
And and then we were like, oh well, gotta go back to the drawing board for 3 weeks, and then
took us 3 weeks to decide on Curiousaholic. We really wanted to figure out fundamentally what our podcast was about, and we just realized that we were two curious guys, and we're addicted to learning new things, so we put it in the name.
Exactly, Curiousaholic. We're really curious. Yeah. But to kind of explain why we had chose the name The Wing It Podcast, because it had that aspect of, one person chooses the topic and then the other person has to quote unquote wing it during the podcast, because they're not aware necessarily, and so they have to kind of improvise. But, I think Curiousaholic describes us a bit better, a bit more specific as well.
Yeah. We still have the same concept from the Wing It podcast. We kept the same idea exactly. It's just we changed the name.
Yeah, so we changed the name. Yeah.
You guys are not missing out.
Yeah. But I like Curiousaholic, I have to say. It's a good name.
It's a good name.
It's original.
Not tooting our own horns here, but yeah.
It's all right. We gotta preach,
Yeah, true.
So yeah, another aspect of our podcast that we wanted to mention as well, which we think is kind of original and different to other shows, is the live music aspect. As you saw in the beginning, I was playing an improvised piece of music, and we kind of want to do that for each of our intros.
Yep.
To have a different take. We don't want to sound generic, we don't want to have a certain theme. Maybe some people like that, I guess, having a theme music to their show. But for us,
we wanted to keep it fresh every single time, and it also forces us to be creative, right? So every single time we bring a new piece of music that we write ourselves, this is not music that we're playing from someone else or anything. We usually come up with the music ourselves and we play it live. So
exactly,
most of the times HAIKO'S going to be playing piano. Sometimes I could bring my guitar and we'll play some guitar together.
Yeah, exactly. So we both might open up the intro with our own music. So we thought that would be a fun little aspect. We do want to eventually also incorporate the music aspect a bit more in the show, not just be in the intro.
Right.
But
yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah, that's the plan. But we'll figure that out as we go on. This is just the beginning of it all.
Yeah. So hopefully, with all the music that we write, we could start a Curiousaholic album.
Yeah, exactly. For each of our intros, having
we'll come out with a single one day.
The Curiousaholic soundtrack.
Yeah.
But also to add on to the music part in our intros, we don't play also any random kind of theme. It's also kind of related to the mood of each episode. So let's say, Evan's picking the topic. He might give me the mood, say, it's going to be a bit dark or a bit sad. He won't necessarily reveal the topic, but he would say,
I'll give him some insight on what he should expect.
Exactly. A little, what's the mood of this episode? So then I'll play something to go along with that.
Yeah, so we really try to keep it like we really try to improvise on all the aspects of our podcast, the topics, the music and everything, and that actually kind of ties in on what our main value is, right? I think since we're not particularly any experts on in a certain niche or anything, I think our main quality is that we're organic, and like we bring value to the audience because we relate to you guys so well. And sometimes I find it's difficult to listen to like an expert speak about a particular topic because you can't really relate to what the person's saying necessarily. But sometimes if you just have two people speaking of X topic, then it could be really approachable and fun to listen to.
Yeah, exactly. I think one of our values that we bring is that we're just normal people. We're just like you guys, just like our audience, talking about all these different topics, and we see these topics through the eyes of a normal person, not an expert. I mean, let's say if we're talking about, I don't know, space or whatever, something related to space, and astrophysicists might use certain terms and terminology that might be kind of foreign to normal people, or that they don't really understand it. But us, we will talk about it just like any normal person and try to understand the subject.
We're going to use our own expertise and try to, almost like dumb it down and make it, approachable to anyone.
Yeah, right? Approachable to anyone, and kind of to show people that don't be scared to tackle any topic or any subject in life just because, it seems so unattainable that, it's only the men in the suits or the men in the lab coats that can only discuss it.
A bit on how our approach on how we tackle this podcast. In the beginning, it felt like, it seemed like an unattainable task and a project that we would never be able to even come close to because there's so many big people that start podcasts. But after a lot of planning and a lot of discussing, we realized that, hey, we could do this too. And, so can you guys if you want to start your own podcast, and this should be motivation for you guys as well.
Exactly. It just takes little steps, and as you go on, you learn more and you expand your knowledge.
Yeah, that's the whole point of
you just got to be curious.
Our podcast. Yeah, got to be curious.
That's it.
So yeah, stay curious, guys, and
that's our motto. Stay curious, people. So yeah, I think that kind of wraps it up, and this is just a little introduction. We don't have a long episode here.
We'll keep it short.
Keep it short and sweet. So hope you guys, come along on this journey with us. We have a lot more episodes to release. We'll be releasing episodes every single week. So stay tuned. And yeah.
Catch you guys on the
next one. I'm going to roll out of here.
All right. Roll us out.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning into this episode of Curiousaholic.
Our show is available on all of your favorite streaming platforms such as Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and Stitcher.
If you're watching us on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe, and make sure to leave a comment letting us know what you've been curious about.
We release new episodes every single week just like this one.
But until next time, stay curious, folks.